December 28th, 1958, at Yankee Stadium, the men who made the NFL the greatest game ever. The Baltimore Colts versus the New York Giants. This was a time when players still had off-season jobs, and some were veterans of World War II, including one who had fought in the Battle of the Bulge. Looking back at this game is like going back in time to see how the sport became what it is today. Since 1958, the NFL championship game between the Baltimore Colts and New York Giants has been a benchmark for greatness in professional football and a testament to the sport's evolution. Often called the greatest game ever played, it showed how exciting football could be and helped make the NFL more popular. This particular game was lined with greatness: NFL All 100 players, Hall of Famers, perennial All-Pros, and Pro Bowlers. The sidelines were just as illustrious, with Lombardi and Landry commanding their teams. The stage was set. One of the players that day was Johnny Unitas, the archetype at quarterback. Although many quarterbacks are compared to Unitas, he was never compared to anyone else. Alongside him were his two favorite targets, Raymond Berry, the most sure-handed wide receiver in NFL history, and Lenny Moore, the best combination of running and receiving the NFL may have ever seen. Moore was an explosive, smooth runner.
I dedicated myself in 1964. I said, well, if they think I'm through, I'm going to show them.
Lombardi led the Giants' offense, which didn't have the same firepower as the Colts, but he did have Frank Gifford, the former #1 draft pick and MVP, just 2 years earlier. Gifford, the sure-handed halfback, would later transition to wide receiver to extend his Hall of Fame career. On defense for the Giants, Tom Landry guided the league's top-ranked unit.
We protect our middle linebacker. We've got to keep the big men off of him a little bit.
Sam Huff, the standout player, used the defensive line to free him up, allowing him to roam the field and focus on containing the Colts players with hard-hitting tackles and smart play. Who will win the greatest game ever? The Giants received the kickoff to start the day, with future Hall of Famer Don Maynard electing not to run it out of the end zone. The Giants quickly went 3-and-out, giving the ball to Baltimore. However, Unitas fumbled, handing the Giants possession at the 33-yard line. The Colts may have been the nervous ones.
And Weeb's going down. He brought each guy in. He drafted, he knew us, and he's going down, saying where we came from. He picked us up off the sandlots. He had a great speech. But about 5 or 6 of us never heard it because we were in the head throwing up. We were nervous.
The Giants responded to the Colts' nervous start.
Triplett couldn't hold on to it, and I believe the Colts have come up with it this time. It's the Baltimore Colts ball. Gino Marchetti came up with it.
A veteran of the Siegfried Line and the Battle of the Bulge in World War II, returned the favor by jumping on a fumble. Unitas dropped back to pass, but another early game turnover marked a sloppy start to the greatest game ever played. Another 3-and-out by the Giants, and neither team could capitalize on the other's mistakes. Finally, the first strike of the game came with a long pass to Lenny Moore, who injured his back on the play.
Unitas gets the snap, hands off to Amici, the fullback. Up the middle he goes, and inside the 20-yard line, down to about the 19. Unitas calls the signals. Hands off to Dupre, but Dupre goes nowhere. And it's going to be 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Baltimore penalized for a delay of game. It's now 3rd down, 11 yards to go. Dupre is the flank route to the right. The flip goes out to Lenny Moore. He tries to get around the corner, but he has dropped it about the 25-yard line.
Known for his struggles, Myra had only made 4 of his 10 field goal attempts that season. A toss to Frank Gifford for a 38-yard run, followed by a 36-yard field goal.
The goalposts at that time were much shorter.
They usually call them good if they were right over the top, or?
It depended on your reaction. I remember kicking one in a game that I wasn't sure about. The referee was standing behind me, and I put my arms up so he went up like this.
Absolutely.
I'm sure I talked him into that one.
Convincing him, huh?
Yeah.
From Pat Summerall broke the scoreless first quarter. The Colts settled down with 2 strong left side runs, targeting an injured Rosie Greer. The drive ended with a 1-yard run by Alan Amici, giving Baltimore the first touchdown of the day and the lead.
The Giants would pick up 1 first down before punting to the Colts.
Simpson takes it at the 19. There's a fumble. It's the Giants' ball on the 11-yard line. Connerly calls the signals, gets the snap, flips out to Gifford. Gifford fumbles, and the Baltimore Colts recover. Unitas back to throw. Gets protection, runs with the ball. 45, 40, 35, down to the 30-yard line. Unitas gives to Lenny Moore, and boy, he's really upended by Sam Huff. Huff just grabbed him low, picked him up, and dropped him at the 29-yard line. Unitas back to throw. There's a marker on the play. Unitas starts to run with the ball. Baltimore is going to be penalized. A 5-yard penalty. It's illegal motion. The down is the second down, but it's now 14 yards to go. Unitas back to throw. Fires. It's good. A diving catch made by the left end, I believe it is, Ray Berry. Carl Karalevich was covering, but Berry made a great diving catch down at the 21-yard line. Unitas takes to Amici, throws down in the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Ray Berry.
Led by quarterback Johnny Unitas, Baltimore took advantage of numerous Giant fumbles to forge a 14-3 halftime lead. A blowout appeared imminent.
The game was unfolding just as it had all season. The Colts had gone into the second half with the lead or tied in 9 of their 13 games, while the Giants had staged comebacks in the second half of 5 of their 10 wins. Whose will would break? Could the Colts maintain their dominance as they had in every game that mattered? Or would the Giants' relentless determination to claw their way back overcome Baltimore's control?
Back to pass is Unitas. Good protection. Throws to Mutchler. Mutchler makes a brilliant catch.
Frey flank to the right as Unitas comes back to throw again. Fakes once. Hits Berry on a hook, and Berry is tackled by Karalevich and by Huff.
Quickly into the second half, it seemed the Colts would seal the Giants' fate. A touchdown on this first and goal would surely finish them off. After 2 runs by Amici and a quarterback sneak on the frozen ground, the Colts went for it on 4th down. Amici misheard a play call meant for a pass and tried to run it outside, while his target, Jim Mutchler, stood wide open. This marked the first time the Giants imposed their will on a Colts team that usually finished opponents in this position. The Giants were in their element with a familiar second half comeback opportunity. Kyle Rote made a huge 62-yard reception, but fumbled, and Alex Webster recovered and ran to the 1-yard line. The Giants punched it in with a touchdown. And just like that, the comeback began, 14-10. The Giants' running game hadn't been much of a factor so far, but the passes from their quarterback, Charlie Connerly, were keeping them in the game.
20 seconds unofficially to go in the quarter. Connolly back to pass, throws, complete to Stilker. At the 40-yard.
Connerly faked the handoff to Gifford and threw long to Bob Snelker for a 46-yard gain to the 15. On the next play, Gifford came out of the backfield on 1st down to catch the game-leading touchdown, opening the 4th quarter. The Giants took a 17-14 lead, the championship within their reach in their own stadium. If they could continue to hold off the Colts' #1 offense, if they could shake off the fatigue from their grueling battles against Jim Brown and the Cleveland Browns, whom they'd played twice in a row, and from a long stretch of wins without a break, their running game was struggling against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Could they hold on to their lead? The Giants would soon be tested. The Colts would bring in their old kicker, Burt Rashishar, who would add another miss to the day, failing to tie the game for the Colts.
Giants' drive was cut short. Ball goes to King. He fumbles the ball. The Baltimore Colts have the ball on the Giants' 42.
A Colts team that had started to move the ball the way they had in the first half was nearing field goal range when Unitas was sacked on back-to-back plays. First by one of the Giants' leaders, Andy Robicelli, and then by another great defensive lineman, Dick Modzelowski. The Giants' defense had done its job. Now it was time for the offense and the clock to finish off the Colts. But just when it seemed like the game was in hand, a game-saving play by the heart of the Colts defense, Gino Marchetti, stopped Frank Gifford just a foot short of the 1st down, forcing the Giants to punt the ball back to the Colts. Big Daddy Gene Lipscomb, standing 6'6" and weighing 300 pounds, ended Marchetti's day, landing on his leg in pursuit of Gifford that resulted in a broken ankle. Carried off the field on a stretcher, Gino refused to go to the locker room. Instead, he was determined to finish watching the game from the sideline and send a message to his teammates. The Colts, starting from their own 14 with just 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, were about to invent the 2-minute drill. Unitas and his teammates knew exactly what to do: stop the clock and march downfield. After 2 incompletions, Unitas connected with Moore on a comeback route for an 11-yard gain and a first down. Next, Unitas found an open Raymond Berry, who was covered by a linebacker. Berry broke 1 tackle and made a nice gain, cutting down the middle of the field before being tackled by several Giants. Calling a timeout with just 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock, Unitas led a no-huddle offense against the Giants. He found Raymond Berry twice more, moving the Colts down to the 13-yard line. Once again, part-time linebacker and offensive lineman Steve Myra, having missed earlier, had no time to think. Later he recalled, "It was an angle. I had to get it up in the air." And he did. The game was tied, 17-17. As Sam Huff would later say about the drive, "I go to bed every night thinking about Unitas to Berry, Unitas to Berry." The announcers wouldn't stop. This game marked the first use of the sudden death rule, adding both drama and urgency to an already thrilling back-and-forth championship battle. The Giants won the toss, starting with a Gifford run and a Connerly incompletion. On 3rd down, Connerly rolled out, tucked the ball, and ran, but came up a yard short, as had many Giants plays that day. Facing 4th and 1, they were forced to punt. The Giants, exhausted from a grueling season, were fading. The Colts calmly relied on Amici and Dupre, pounding the ball down the field.
Back to pass. Throws in the flat to Amici. First down. He made it. First down. Unitas this time gives to Dupre off the right side, and Dupre gets close to the 45. It'll be 2nd and 6 to go.
A pass to Berry crossed midfield.
He's going back to throw. This time he gets protection. Starts to run with the ball. Now he throws. It's good to Berry. He's at the 45.
Followed by steady chunks from Amici and Dupre, driving closer to victory.
You get in the field goal range, now you start taking knees.
But they didn't think like that then. But the only real solid, dependable field goal kicker was Lou Groza then. You know, even Summerall wasn't that dependable.
Well, I was just thinking about a score. I really, the field goal really never entered my mind.
Unitas at quarterback calls the signals. Snap back to Unitas. He throws the quick one to Berry. He makes a fine grab at the 10-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 8-yard line. It'll be Baltimore's ball, first down and goal to go.
First down coming up. 8 yards to go for the score. Johnny looks over the defense. Hands up to Amici. Amici rams his way off the right side. Unitas calling out the signals. He passes. Cut. Let's see if Mutchler got that ball and went out of bounds. Mutchler took it out of bounds in the very end on the 1-yard line. Barking out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
The heartbreak for the Giants was sudden and lasting, and the city of Baltimore were champions.